At Snap Audition, we believe in using a rubric to judge your audition or to really evaluate anything. We believe it provides a much better feedback loop to the entrant than just simply giving them a rank or a score. A rubric is, in its most fundamental form, just criteria used to score something. It's usually presented as a table with aspects that you're grading being rows and columns being the different levels of achievement. At Snap Audition, we've created this free rubric builder you can use completely independent of the Snap Audition software, or you can use it to create rubrics that you use to judge within Snap Audition. Here you see a catalog of rubrics that you can use, take, print, download, use forever, whatever you want, or you can create a rubric from scratch. It's going to ask me a few questions. I'm going to say I'm evaluating individuals, and I'm going to evaluate, let's say, music. Now, should the rubric provide a final score? You're going to want to click yes if you need a grade to be produced by the rubric, or you need it to be used in some kind of competition. So we'll say that the grade or the final score should be between 0 and 100. Now we're going to add a title and hit create. Now I'm not even logged in here, and so it's going to tell me I have about 2 hours to save this. Once I hit save, it's going to prompt me to log in so that it can save it to my account. Rubrics are presented as a table with aspects as rows and levels of achievement as columns. And you can go and change these. You can add columns or remove columns. And then on the aspect level, you can add your first aspect to be evaluated here. Now, what I like to do, instead of adding them from here, is I'll add my aspects. So I'll say scales, maybe. And then I'll write my description of what it looks like to exceed expectations in the scales aspect. What does it look like to meet expectations? And what does it look like to be below expectations? And then I'll hit this copy button. And so I have a lot of that already written out, and I can tweak it for the next aspect. Sometimes you want your rubric to evaluate more than one thing, more than one item, we call it. And click this button to add an entire item. And so you're not just adding more and more aspects. How does the scoring work with this? So the system will automatically calculate this for you. If you notice at the top, it will say what of the aspect points or what percentage should the student get if they score in this column. And we have put down 100%. So if they exceed expectations, they get 100%. Now, if they meet expectations, we have it set at 50%. But we can adjust that. So say we want it to be 63%. And when we do that, it automatically changes the points to meet that percentage. If they're below expectations, maybe we want it to be 10%, and so it adjusts those. On the left side, each item would be a percentage of that 1 or 0 to 100. So if you're using Snap Audition to run your audition, you'll see this first question: do you want to use a rubric to evaluate score or grade? This says no, but I'm going to click yes. And then all of the rubrics that are saved to my organization will pop up. So I'm going to hit select. And then you'll notice that the scoring is now tied to the rubric. So I wanted to show you what it looks like to use a rubric in judging. So I'm in the audition playground, which you can access from snapaudition.com, and just go down to playground. So when I go to actually judge, I'm going to click on entrant 1. My task, instead of just adding this numeric score here, is to open up the rubric and select an option for each one. And as I do that, it will automatically calculate that final score. Not only that, it will save my selection for each one. And so the audition admin can see how I scored them through the rubric. And then if they've chosen to share the rubric back to the entrant can see not only the score itself, but how you arrived at that score. And so this is good for them because then they can see, okay, I did well on these aspects, but not so well on these aspects, and so on and so forth.